Hi, I'm on Microsoft's campus in Redmond, Washington, and the company has just announced it's giving out some major grants worth millions of dollars to help advance artificial intelligence in making the world a better place to live. And they're specifically looking for Washington nonprofits, businesses, innovators, and researchers that are doing work in sustainability, public health, and human rights. It's part of a way to give back to the local community. I sat down with the chief data scientist at AI for Good Labs here at Microsoft. Here's our conversation. Juan, tell us, what is AI for Good?
So this is a philanthropic effort that Microsoft has. We want to help the world. We want to help organizations around the world, organizations and scientists around the world, to use AI to help them solve some of the world's greatest challenges. So when we think about the world's greatest challenges, there's problems where AI can make a difference, but unfortunately, a lot of these organizations do not have the structural capacity to have AI talent, and that's our contribution, is to provide them with Azure Compute and with AI talent to help them with solve those problems.
Why do you think it's important for artificial intelligence to be used for good?
There are problems out there where AI is not just a solution, but is the only solution you have. An example is a problem that we have been working on is diabetic retinopathy. So diabetic retinopathy is the leading cause of blindness around the world. You have 450 million people around the world that suffer from diabetes, and a third of them will develop diabetic retinopathy, and if they are not treated, some of them will become blind. The challenge is that in the world you only have 200,000 ophthalmologists. So it's physically impossible for these ophthalmologists to screen and diagnose this disease. We have built, and other labs have also built AI algorithms that can detect with almost the same level of precision as a very good ophthalmologist. So this is something that technology that can even run in a smartphone. So these are cases where AI can make a big difference.
Sustainability, public health, human rights, why those areas specifically?
Well, throughout the years that we've been since we created the lab, we have seen that these are areas where AI can make a big difference. This is also areas where the world needs a lot more help. So it's that combination of areas where the world needs help and where AI can make a difference. So that's how we have been working on these areas.
A lot of these grants are going to stay in Washington State. Why is that important?
Well, for us, this is our home. This is our local community, and this is the 50th year anniversary of Microsoft. So as part of the 50th year anniversary, we want to make sure that we have a call for Washington State, and because again, this is our home. So
oftentimes, when you think of Washington State, some of the problems that come up that we've been reporting on are things like homelessness, public safety, and obviously the environment here in the Pacific Northwest. It's so beautiful. Can AI help with some of those issues? AI
can help in some of those problems. AI will not solve all these problems. But AI can sometimes help. For example, in the case of housing, we have done analysis on using algorithms to find trends and understand the trends and help you understand the problems. It's not going to help. It's not going to solve these problems, but for some of these problems, it at least can help.
Why do you think so many people are afraid of AI?
I think it's normal for people to be afraid of something new. I think it's part of our human intuition in many ways, and I think it's important to understand. It's important to understand the technology. This is a tool. This is a new tool that the world has, and in many ways, I think it's important to know how to use the tool, and that's basically and use it responsibly. So,
can you tell me a little bit about the work that you've done with NOAA on whale research?
Yeah, so NOAA has been one of the our first collaborations, and they do an amazing job better understanding whales. So early on, we started working with them because they have a lot of recordings underwater. It's like sound recordings underwater, and we were using AI to help them find the whales from these recordings. Something that would take a lot of effort, not just a human, but human experts. Another project that we have is one that we are actively working now, is using satellite data. So with high resolution satellite data, you can identify big mammals. like if it's a big whale or an elephant, like an animal that is big enough, you will be able to see it from space.
Wow.
So what we're doing is we are using high resolution satellite data, where you take the pictures, and if the whale is about like almost there on the water, you will be able to see it. And this is another area where AI is not just the solution, but it's the only solution. It would take years for a human to go and through a whole ocean find these whales. With AI, you can find them, and it can help them understand where the whales are, what is the population of the whales, how is the population of the whales trending, changing. This is fundamental information that will help researchers do their job.
That's incredible. What other projects are on your radar that you're looking for when you do this call for action?
We have been working a lot, for example, in natural disasters related, for example, to fires. We're just finishing the work we did in Los Angeles, where after the fires, we partner with Planet Labs, we put satellites, we take pictures, and we use AI to help them do damage assessment maps. That's an area that for us is really important. We work with around the world, and that's an area that is common across like any place. We work a lot also in biodiversity, for example. We are just launching a platform called Sparrow. These are devices that will have connection to camera traps and acoustic data, and will help biodiversity experts collect the data in a way that will be easy for them to analyze and understand the biodiversity ecosystem.
Why are you doing this open call?
We're doing the open call because we believe that there are researchers out there that might not know that they can collaborate with us, and we want to have a specific call for researchers and for organizations, for startups that are looking for use AI to help solve some of the local problems, because of our interest in making sure that we provide support to our local community and to Washington State.
And why now?
Because in April, we will be celebrating our 50th year anniversary. 50 years ago, Bill Gates and Paul Allen created this amazing company, and we are celebrating this year their 50th anniversary. And as part of that, we want to focus in part to give back to Washington State.
Yeah, Microsoft has really changed what Redmond even looks like.
It has changed a lot, yes.
Juan, what are some of the most remarkable and some of your favorite projects you've worked on?
I do think there's a huge opportunity in healthcare, particularly in areas like medical imaging. We have projects here in Fred Hatch in UW using medical imaging, for example, for early detection of breast cancer. This is a collaboration we have with Fred Hatch and with University of Washington. And we have multiple projects where AI can do an amazing job helping these radiologists find anomalies. And if we can help these doctors with early detection, that information to them can help them save lives. So that's an area that for us, I do think there's a huge opportunity there.
As you announce this open call, are you excited for the new possibilities and maybe something that you haven't even thought of?
Yes, and I think that every time we talk to, whether it's an organization or researchers or even startups, we find how they are seeing these problems. We are not experts on their problems. We are experts on AI. We love to collaborate with subject matter experts that better understand the problem. So for us, there's always opportunities to use data and use AI to help with some of these problems.
Microsoft obviously at the forefront and an innovator with AI and computer technology. Are you excited for where things are going with artificial intelligence in, say, 10, 20 years?
Yes, I do think that the world needs a lot of help. You have millions of children that die before their 5th birthday of suffering from infant mortality. You have hundreds of millions that are affected by climate. You have 1.3 billion people that live with a severe disability. The world needs all the help it can get. And AI is not going to help. It's not going to solve all these problems, but it can help it can help the researchers solve some of them. And I do think there's many more opportunities where we can use technology to help.
Do you think we're at a crossroads where we have a lot of fear about artificial intelligence, but that we can turn the tide and make people excited and use it for good?
I think any person that uses this technology, they will find I think that part of the issue with part of the problem is that when you don't understand how the technology works, what is the limitations, how you can use the technology, it's completely normal to sometimes be afraid of it. But I think it's important once people start using the technology, and like for me, for example, as a non-native speaker, I use the technology every day, correct? Like for me, it was very difficult to even edit documents. Now I have an amazing help on that. There are multiple scenarios from my wife works in a school, and for her and her teachers, this type of technology is helping them a lot too. So I do think there are multiple scenarios. As soon as you start using the technology, people will find how it can help them. So.
You've said this a couple times now, that you feel like knowledge is power. Is that one of your core principles?
Yes, I do think it's important to understand and have an understanding of technology.
Is there anything else you want to add for this open call specifically, but also just the collaboration and your hope for AI for Good Lab, across Puget Sound or across Washington State?
Oh, for us, it would be amazing to find the right partners and the right organizations, and that focus on help the local community with some of their challenges, and hopefully help them solve some of the challenges.
How many companies do you know yet? How many you'll announce as winners?
We don't have a number yet. We will evaluate all the proposals, and from that we will find like what are those proposals. But we don't have a number on that. We want to fund the right proposals. So.
Can you explain the difference between just using a computer normally and then running artificial intelligence?
Oh, AI is in many ways is another program that runs within the computer. Behind the scenes, AI is an algorithm, is just math. What the computer is doing is allowing to run that program, similar to what we have other programs. Now, this technology now is being part of many of the, like from anytime that you make a search, anytime that you look for a movie, a lot of times a lot of people have been using AI for almost 20 years now. People sometimes don't understand that there is AI algorithms behind, but like whether you are making a search, whether you have a recommendation from when you want to buy something, behind the scenes, all of these are AI algorithms.